7. And Edgar, well, Stratford won last year's matchup by 1 point at 7-6 ball game. And that's when Stratford won.
Cole, number 40, Cole Latursky.
Stratford that overtime win back in 2013. Edgar got an overtime win in 2012, but Edgar has the overall advantage in the series, 33-27. Coach Sins is 30-20 against Stratford. And Coach Tubbs is 2-3 against the Wildcats. Of course, Cal Takis, all those years at Stratford, he is 12-18 against Edgar, or was in his career, now an assistant with the Tigers these days. But that's how some of the numbers shake out in this series. And Coach Sins is well over 400 wins now. He accomplished that earlier this season. And so coming into this ball game tonight, Edgar has, well, what are they? Record-wise, 8-0? 8-0, so you add on 8, and so he's 403-81 overall in his career. And Tigers come in at 6-1, and so Coach Tubbs now 41-12 in his 5th season as the head coach of these Stratford Tigers. So it should be a good one here tonight, as it always is.
Yeah, and if you look at it on paper, I was just kind of comparing some of the scores to the common opponents that they've played, and very, very similar scores too. Sometimes you can tell on paper like someone beats the other one by a lot, and not in this situation. The scores are very similar.
All right. Okay, Edgar and Stratford coming up next right here on WOSQ. We'll be back in just a moment.
Are you overwhelmed trying to determine your home mortgage options or how to refinance an existing property? Experience the Community Advantage and choose the proven, reliable leadership of Advantage Community Bank. They don't have to impress.
All right, 2 minutes here, Ben. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
To be their neighbors and keep Central Wisconsin's future strong. To learn more about your benefits at Advantage Community Bank, visit AdvantageCommunityBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Tigers, the Edgar Wildcats. Glad you're with us for this one in the Merriwood here tonight. The Edgar Wildcats in their green jerseys, white pants with the green helmets, the white lettering and numerals on their uniforms. The Stratford Tigers, their road uniform jerseys with pants, jerseys. The Edgar Wildcats will get the ball as we watch the action here tonight for Tigers kicking off. Junior. His running backs are Ty Gooden and
wide. He almost got over to the sideline on the far side, heaved it on the run, like you said, 30 yards down the field, 20 yards down the field, and on the money, a perfect play, and pass was right there for the receiver.
No gain on first down, but back to pass on second down. Lobs one into the end zone. Right corner, broken up, incomplete. And he was trying to get it to Burish on that play. Josh could not come up with that one, and it's 3rd and 10.
That was basically just a jump ball. There was defenders there, and Butt just threw it up to the corner of the end zone and was hoping his receiver could make a play. Bursch got his hand on it, was able to tip it, but he couldn't haul it in, and fortunately, when he tipped it, it was not intercepted.
So a big 3rd and 10 here for the Wildcats from the Tiger 13-yard line. Butt will hand it off inside trap play to Ty Gooden, and not a lot of running room for Gooden there. A couple of yards down to the 11, and that's it. And it will be a 2-yard gain. It will be 4th and 8 here. And let's see what Coach Jerry Sins decides to do on 4th and 8 from the Tiger 11-yard line. I believe it's a field goal attempt for Josh Burish, right?
It is.
All right, so Burish, who had a field goal against Marathon a couple weeks ago, will attempt the field goal from the 11-yard line. Ball down, kick up, and it's through, and it's good. So that is a, 29-yard field goal for Josh Burish. And the Edgar Wildcats grab a 3-0 lead with 7:01 remaining in the opening quarter. And the Tigers will get the ball when we come back to Wildcat Stadium in Edgar in just a moment.
At Edgar IGA, there's always something special happening to save you money.
30.
And service members get 5% off everything in the store.
One spot, 30.
The 13th gallon free with their milk ticket special. Buy 12 Tombstone pizzas, get 13 free with the pizza ticket.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Shop and save every day at Edgar IGA.
29.
Proud sponsor.
A 90-yard drive for the Edgar Wildcats.
Solid. I mean, that would have been good from he down the middle, and that's just so fortunate. Some good kickers over the years, and most they don't usually have a kicker. And 4th and 8 for 3 points on a
That right, and you know Caleb Wolf for those years, you know. So now there he saved directly out of bounds. Shink that, and the Tigers will get it.
A lot of high school teams are afraid of the
Left side, complete on 1st down for the. And not sure who he was trying to get that.
because it's going to be difficult just to rely on the running game all the time because these defenses are very stout.
On 2nd and 10, quarterback.
They were in the backfield, and if they continue to get
Come out, throw and runs. Long running games on 3rd and 10 for the Tigers from their own 35-yard to his right. Butt and Ty Gooden on the. It was Caleb Haferman, and knocked down near the 40-yard line. A great job by Connor Molterer to pull in that high snap. I believe it was Connor on the punt, pulling it down and just barely pulling that snap in.
And they netted about 20 yards or 21 yards in that punt, so it's better than what could have happened because he had to get that punt with one hand because the snap was so high. So he tipped it to himself, grabbed it, and luckily he had good blocking and was able to get it off.
So the Edgar Wildcats get the ball back from their own 40-yard line, leading 3-0, 5.5 remaining in the opening quarter. Back to pass is Butt. Deep down the left sideline on first down. Bush in single coverage with Teddy Redmond. And that's going to draw a pass interference flag at the Stratford 35-yard line. PI penalty as Butt was trying to go deep to Ty Gooden, or Burrish, I should say, down the left sideline. And that was great coverage, I thought.
I did too. I didn't think that was a penalty. I think Burrish kind of tripped on his own feet and basically fell over, and I think that's what influenced the official to throw the flag because the official was quite a ways away from the play. And but anyway, it's a great break for the Edgar Wildcats.
Yeah, you got that right. So 15-yarder out or down to the Tiger 45-yard line now, after the 15-yard pass interference penalty against the Stratford Tigers on Teddy Redmond. 1st and 10 now for the Wildcats. Butt takes the snap, rolling to his left, and gets hit in the backfield and dropped. Back at the Tiger 47-yard line, he's going to lose 2 yards on the play.
You know, so it's kind of nice in high school call.
Yeah, so a loss of 2 by Carson Butt on that play brings up 2nd and 12 now. And Butt fakes the handoff, under pressure, hit and sacked. Oh, he escapes the sack and throws the ball to the near sideline. Incomplete, penalty flag. That's going to be intentional grounding on Carson Butt.
It might be roughing. It might be roughing the passer.
Oh, wait a minute.
It could be roughing the passer.
Is it roughing the passer or intentional grounding?
We had the receiver, number 5, was in the area, Colton Heil. He was in the area.
Carson Butt under heavy pressure and all the way back inside his own 40-yard line, just threw the ball up to the near side. Didn't seem to be a receiver in the immediate area, and then was driven down. They're talking with Stratford. I think that is... Oh, no, you're right, Todd. Roughing the passer, personal foul penalty on the Tigers. And a big break for Edgar, another big penalty against Stratford on this drive. Boy, they had Carson Butt all the way back inside the Edgar 40-yard line, and really would have pinned him back in a big hole, but instead the personal foul, roughing the passer penalty, puts the ball at the Tiger 32-yard line.
I have absolutely no idea how Carson Butt got out of there. He was swarmed on by the Stratford defense, and you even said he's down because it looked like he was down. All of a sudden he comes squirting out of there and was able to at least get the pass off before he got thrown to the ground again. But amazing escapability by Carson Butt.
Wow, big call there, and now 1st and 10 for Edgar at the Tiger 32-yard line. Handoff, right side, Ty Gooden, and he goes backwards. Great job by that Tiger defense. Good pursuit to the edge. He did get back to the line of scrimmage, and no, he's going to lose a yard. He lost a yard on the play. 2nd and 11 coming up. The O-line for Edgar, we should mention those guys. Ryan McKibben, the right tackle. Cade Littleton, the left tackle. Reese Heidman, the left guard. Bryce Imhoff, the right guard. Tyler Skripchak is the center. 2nd and 11 from the right hash. Fake handoff, Butt back to pass on a screen pass. Trying to get it right side. Will Rates hauls it in near the 30-yard line, a gain of 3. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Just an amazing catch by Will Rates. The pass was kind of high because Carson Butt was under a lot of pressure, had to get rid of it, and just fortunate that Rates was able to lift, put his one arm up and grab it with a one-arm catch and bring it in and actually get a 3 or 4 yard gain out of that.
So now it will be 3rd and 8 for the Wildcats from the Tiger 30-yard line as they work right to left. 3:40 left in the opening quarter. 3-0 Edgar on top with the ball. Shotgun snap over the head of Carson Butt all the way back to the 50-yard line to pick it up. Now running back toward the line of scrimmage near the 30, taken down from behind. A great play by Kalen Schmidt as the snap by Tyler Skripchuk goes sailing over the head of Carson Butt. He's got to retrieve it all the way back at the 49-yard line. He gets back as far as the Tiger 33-yard line, basically the original line of scrimmage. And a gain of a yard after all that. Well, no, he lost
about 2 on that one.
Ends up losing about 3 yards, actually. Yeah, wow, that was amazing. Very impressive. But it brings up 4th and 10, and the Wildcats now with Carson Butt back in punt formation. They'll try to pin the Tigers deep here on a 4th and 10. Butt punting from the Tiger 45-yard line and trying to pin him deep. It rolls inside the 5, and I think the Wildcats are going to down the ball at the 1.5-yard line, maybe right at the 1, and Ty Gooden on the punt coverage got down there, and what a great job by Carson Butt and the coverage team for the Wildcats to put the Tigers back at their own, where are they going to mark this down? Right around the 1-yard line, right?
Yeah, 1,
maybe 2,
1 or 2, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, no, they're moving the sticks to the 1. I think.
They are at about the 1.5-yard line. They'll call it the 2-yard line, and that's where the Tigers take over. 1st and 10. The handoff and taken down near the goal line, maybe in the end zone for a safety on the handoff on 1st down. And who got the ball? Cade Erke on a handoff. He got taken down back at the 1-yard line. A loss of a yard on 1st and 10 from the Tiger 2. It'll be 2nd and 11 now from the 1. Erke escaped the end zone to avoid the safety.
You can guarantee that Edgar's going to bring the pressure here and try to get a safety out of this.
Here they come, 2nd and 11 from the 1. Quick handoff, I believe Erke again.
I think it was just a quarterback sneak.
Oh, was it?
I think so, because they're afraid of getting a safety.
So
nope, you're right.
I think it was
Erke did get the handoff.
Yeah, he did.
But they had him really tight to the line of scrimmage, so they couldn't get so much penetration.
And no gain. Back to the 1-yard line. 3rd and 11 from their own 1, the Tigers. And that, now we have a, what, timeout? Timeout. Tigers with 1:27 left in the opening quarter. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. And stay with us for more football from Edgar in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Stratford, president of Columbus Down Booster. Our vision is to build the top athletic teams in central Wisconsin. Championship participation.
30.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion.
And 11 from their own 1-yard line. Following a Tiger timeout here, a big 3rd and 11 play here for Stratford. Tigers come to the line. Hendrick under center. And you can bet the Wildcats are coming on this one. Left side handoff. And running room for Teddy Redmond off the left side. Out to the 6-yard line. He gets 5 on the play. But that's going to be it. And 4th and 5 coming up. And a punting situation here for the Tigers from their own end zone. And a great job by Teddy Redmond just to get a little breathing room there for this punt team. Here's the punt now, high but really short. And it's going to angle out of bounds at the Tiger 22-yard line. A horrendous punt, not a good punt at all for the Stratford Tigers, and that's going to roll out of bounds. Where do they mark this? The 23-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats are going to take over with 42 seconds left in the quarter. Wow. Big break.
About an 18-yard punt.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a killer. That's where you need to come up with a big punt to help your team out and get some field position. But no, just didn't. Probably rushed out of the end zone a little bit and didn't hit it squarely, that's for sure.
Oh, so the Wildcats take over 1st and 10 at the Stratford 23-yard line. And now Carson Butt in shotgun formation on 1st and 10. On a read option type play, he will hand it off. And Will Rates will get the handoff inside the 20 to the 19. It's a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up. With time winding down in quarter number 1 here in Edgar tonight. Stratford and Edgar renewing their rivalry here in the Mirrorwood. We've got it for you tonight. Glad you're with us for the big game here on WOSQ, and the Edgar Wildcats will let the clock run down here in the first quarter. At the end of 1, the Wildcats lead it on a 29-yard Josh Burrish field goal. They have a 3-0 lead at the end of 1. Second quarter action from Edgar after this.
Healthcare comes with worry. That's me.
And I'm here to replace them.
What? What do you mean, replace me? You can't replace me. I mean, look at you. No anxiety, no paranoia, not even a hint of neuroses. What's your biggest worry?
Don't have any. I'm security.
Biggest fear?
None.
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, I know this one. Happy thoughts.
I see his mouth moving, but I can't understand what's coming out of it.
Edgar and Stratford. It's a small school rivalry with no equal. Two schools just 50 miles apart have created Wisconsin's best small school football rivalry, each winning 7 state championships. Reminisce about the Edgar-Stratford football rivalry and get your book signed personally by author Peter Schmidt this Sunday at 1 p.m. at LJ's Sports Zone in Stratford. LJ's Sports Zone is Stratford's new fun spot. They have a fabulous Friday fish fry and daily specials. Come in after Friday's Edgar-Stratford football game or on Sunday for the Edgar-Stratford book signing. LJ's Sports Zone in Stratford. Go Tigers!
Alongside Todd Schultz, I'm Mike Warren, and Ben Brecht is producing and studio engineering our broadcast tonight of Merrillwood Conference Football on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield. You can also watch us live on Facebook. Go to Stratford Tiger News on Facebook. You can see a live stream of the game there as well, and hear our radio broadcast through that feed as well. As we go to the second quarter now, the Edgar Wildcats have the ball now going left to right from the Tiger 19-yard line. 2nd and 6, and a handoff on the right side to start the second quarter goes nowhere for Ty Gooden off the right side. And did they give him any sort of gain on that play? They did not. No gain for Ty Gooden on that play, and it's 3rd and 6 now from the Tiger 19-yard line.
Benjamin Barton with the tackle on that one. Excellent job filling the hole.
All right, so a big 3rd and 6 here, but in shotgun form. No, he's under center. Powerhouse backfield, left side. No, this is the formation where they bring Brock Handrick in at quarterback and hand it off to Carson Butt off the left side, but to the 15-yard line, a gain of 4, and it will be 4th and 2 after Butt comes up short on that play. We've seen that formation too before, where Butt will actually line up in the backfield, and then they bring Handrick in as the quarterback.
Here's another field goal try.
So is Burrish going to try another field goal here?
I think so.
All right, so let's see what the Tigers are going to take a timeout defensively. They weren't ready for that. Tigers with a timeout, their second of the half, with 10:44 remaining in the second quarter. And we'll come back to Wildcat Stadium in Edgar in just a moment.
In 1916, auto owners insurance teamed up with local independent agents so customers could get fast, friendly,
30.
So well, we decided to keep it that way. 100 years later, we still do things the same way, by teaming up with local independent agents who deliver quality, personal service. Some might call that old school. But then again, maybe everything old is new again. Kind of refreshing, isn't it?
Call Don Spindler at Stratford Insurance Agency, your local no-problem auto owners insurance agents.
At the Stratford, or the Marshfield Tigers are leading Wausau West 3-0 after 1 at Beale Stadium in Marshfield tonight for the Tiger homecoming. And they've got a field goal in that game. And we've got a field goal is our only score here in Edgar so far. 10:44 to go in the second quarter. Edgar leads Stratford 3-0. Following a Tiger timeout, the Wildcats on 4th and 2 from the Tiger 15 will line up and go for it. Handrick is the quarterback on this play. They will hand it off to Carson Butt off the left side, and I don't know that he got it. Good stop there by the Tiger defense, and Butt, I think, came up short. He may have lost a yard. And he did not get it, did he? Nope. A good stop by the Tiger defense on 4th and 2, and the Wildcats will turn the ball over on downs. And a good stop for that Tiger defense right there.
It was. That's a huge stop by that defense to keep this game at 3-0, because if Edgar goes in for a score and gets up 2 scores, that makes it real difficult in Stratford.
It would have been a 33-yard attempt for Burrish. I'm not sure why they didn't go back to the field goal, but Tigers take over at their own 15-yard line. And Cade Erkey on first down off the left side. Tries to cut it upfield, kind of slips and falls at about the 16-yard line after a gain of a yard for Cade Erkey. 2nd and 9 coming up. And with 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter, Tigers working right to left. Down 3-0 from their own 16-yard line. Handrick under center on first down. He'll give to Jordan Becker off the right side, trying to cut it wide to the right, and good pursuit to the edge by the Edgar defense after Becker picks up just a couple out to the, now let's see where they mark him down. Maybe the 18, 17-yard line, maybe a gain of a yard, not much more than that. 3rd and 8. I guess they're going to call it 2. 3rd and 7 out to the 18-yard line. Handrick now back to pass on 3rd and 8. Now spinning to his left and running on the run, throwing downfield out across the 25 near the 28-yard line, complete to Dylan Dellinger for a Tiger first down. And Dellinger has it at the 28-yard line on a gain of 10. And a good throw by Mark Handrick on the run, running to his left.
He escaped the rush as well. He kind of bounced off one guy and rolled to his left, and going to your left, difficult throwing, but he put the ball right on the money because he had to. The receiver was covered.
Certainly did a good job, and now Handrick on first down, rolling to his right. Deep down the middle of the field, he has a wide open Eli Drexler, and Handrick sailed it over Eli's head, incomplete, but boy, Eli got behind the defense on that one, and if Handrick puts it on him, he's gone for 6, that's for sure.
Yeah, Drexler had about 3 steps on the defender, running full speed, and the ball was overthrown by about 3 yards, 3-4 yards, something like that.
Missed a great opportunity there, and Handrick overthrows Drexler, running wide open down the middle of the field. And now on 2nd and 10, here's a handoff to Becker. The ball came out. It's fumbled by Becker. And let's see who got on top of the ball near the 25-yard line. I think the Tigers got back on top of it. Becker fumbled the ball. He'll get back on it at the 25-yard line after a loss of 3 on the play. Big stop there by this Edgar defense, and they almost came up with the turnover. Spencer, by the way, tied with who? With who? Gilman? Okay. Anyway, here's a throw to the near side for Becker on 3rd and 13. We'll get you some scoring updates a bit later on. Spencer tied in their game. Hendrick got it to Becker, and he got out across the 30 near the 33-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 5. Well, no, more than that. What was it? 3rd and 13. Got about 8 on that pass play to Becker.
Yeah, Spencer Columbus is playing Glenwood City tonight.
Glenwood City, yeah, thank you.
Yep, and they're tied at this point.
Tied at 14 in that one. All right, so the Tigers on 4th and 5 now will punt the ball away. Carson Butt grabs it at the Edgar 35-yard line, and Tigers have to punt the ball away. Can't sustain a drive yet tonight.
Much better punt that time, though, so it's going to really help get the field position switched a little bit here, because Edgar was dominating the field position after they kicked it or punted it down to the 1.5-yard line on the previous possession. So now it's kind of even again with Edgar taking the ball here at the 35-yard line and having to go 65 yards.
All right, yeah, Spencer Columbus at Glenwood City tonight. They're tied at 14 as Edgar gets the ball back at their own 35-yard line. And on 1st down, off left tackle, a handoff to Will Rates. And Rates a couple of yards off the left side out to the 37-yard line, and a gain of 2.
You know, we've got a comment so far on this game. We're about a quarter and a half in here, and neither team is doing anything very creative. It's very basic football. I mean, it's handoff off tackle, hand up off the middle. You know, there's a couple pass plays, but there's really no misdirections. There's been no reverses. There's been no much for bootlegs, you know, off of a read option. It's been very vanilla by both teams.
You got that right. So now a 2nd and 8 from the left hash. The Wildcats working left to right, and now Butt is dropping back to pass, a screen pass right side to Caleb Haferman, who has drilled at the 38-yard line, a gain of a yard on the screen pass, and that's it. Tigers with a great defensive stop there. And a 3rd and long coming up, 7 to go, 6:40 remaining in the 2nd quarter. And the Wildcats have a 3-0 lead here over the Stratford Tigers so far. It has been kind of bend but don't break for this Tiger defense.
That's true. They've been able to punch it in. They've gotten down there twice inside the red zone. I'm referring to Edgar, and got 1 field goal out of it.
3rd and 7. The handoff now to Rates up the middle, out across the 40 to the 41, a gain of 3, but it will bring up 4th and 3 for the Wildcats. And that was Rates.
Again, you know, just very basic. Just a straight handoff right up the middle. There's nothing there.
Very conservative.
Yeah,
so
very,
far.
very conservative. Yeah, extremely vanilla. You know, I just guess most teams don't want to make a mistake, so they're just keeping it very basic.
So the Edgar Wildcats will punt the ball away now. Butt back to kick this ball away from his own 32-yard line. And it rolls inside the Tiger 25, and that's where Edgar will down the ball at about the 22-yard line with 5.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. Tigers get the ball back, trailing Edgar 3-0. So they'll mark it at the Tiger
you can still look like one.
22-yard line.
Sports Scene has hats, jerseys, helmets, clothing, die-cast NASCAR cars. Shop Sports Scene's unique collection of specialty items, autographs,
gotta come right back,
collectibles, sports cards, and so much more. From team sports to backyard games, Sports Scene has got the goods. Shop like a pro.
From the 22-yard line, Tigers on 1st down, toss right side, Teddy Redmond on 1st down, trying to get it to the right side on 1st and 10 from the Tiger 22-yard line. And no running room there for Redmond on 1st down. With 5, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's about the most creative play we had was a pitch. They pitched it wide to Redmond, and that's about it. Like I said, there hasn't been much, so I'm looking for these teams to start opening it up just a bit and running some different plays here, because the basic stuff just is not working.
Guess they're going to give him a yard out to the 23-yard line. Now Handrick on 2nd and 9 will hand it off again. And Kate Erkey off right tackle, out across the 25 to the 26 or 7. So a gain of 4, I guess. And 3rd and 5, maybe 4 coming up here for the Tigers. 3rd and about 4. They'll put the ball at the Tiger 28-yard line. Handrick back to pass. And deep down the right sideline, and incomplete again for Handrick, taking a shot down the right sideline and trying to get that one to Dellinger. I think that was Dillon. And incomplete, and Handrick overthrows his intended target on that one as well. It'll be 4th and 4, and a Tiger punt coming up with 4:11 left in the half.
Would have been very difficult to get that pass in there anyway, because there was double coverage. Carson Butt came up from his safety position to give the cornerback some help, and he was there.
Another 3 and out for the Tigers, and now the punt. Fair catch by Carson Butt at his own 42-yard line, and Edgar gets the ball back with 4:04 remaining in the 2nd quarter. And so now Todd Edgar going back on offense with some time to work here and some pretty decent field position as well.
Yeah, Edgar gained 6 yards on that exchange of possessions. Started at 35 last time. This time they start at the 41 or 42, so actually 7 yards on that exchange. But again, let's see if the offensive coordinator is making some adjustments here to see what they can do with this last 4 minutes of the 2nd quarter.
Tigers have to punt the ball away again, and Edgar gets it back at their own 42-yard line, working left to right. 4:04 remaining in the half, and Carson Butt under center on 1st down. Backs are split behind him, fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, and looking downfield, lobs it out there. Huge Shrapnagel inside the Tiger 50-yard line, gets it to his big tight end at the Tiger 46-yard line, and it's a 12-yard gain for the Wildcats on 1st down on a little rollout by Carson Butt.
That's an excellent play call there. Faking the handoff up the middle, rolling to the right, and Butt had plenty of time to survey the field as he was rolling to his right, and made a nice little lob pass over the linebacker to get it into Schlafnagel. Had to be perfect because he was not wide open.
All right, good play by the Wildcats on 1st down, and now Butt with a keeper on a read option play off the right side. Carson will keep it himself. Dives inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line, a 3-yard gain for Carson on that play. And 2nd and 7 coming up with 3:15 to go in the 2nd quarter here at Wildcat Stadium in Edgar. Wildcats working left to right with a 3-0 lead. From the right hash, Butt back under center on 2nd and 7. Got a receiver wide left, backs are split behind him, wing to the right. Here's a handoff up the middle. This goes to Will Rates. Rates pounds it down near the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 4, and 3rd and 3 coming up.
Good hard-nosed run there by Rates. He just put his head down and went off tackle and got as much as he could on that play.
All right, so 3rd and 3 here with 2:30 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Edgar with the ball and leading 3-0 from the right hash once again. Receiver wide to the left, that's Dawson Lemmer. And up the middle, Carson Butt on a quarterback keeper, and nowhere to run on that one. Got a yard to the 38, and that's it.
That's one of those plays where the quarterback just comes up there and taps the center on the behind and says, "I'm just going to run behind you, big fella." He saw something, but it got closed very quickly by the Stratford defense.
Good job by that Tiger defense to spot that. Now the Wildcats will punt the ball with 1:40 and counting left in the second quarter, and on a 4th and 3, but the punter from midfield, and he'll pull it down and keep it on a fake punt attempt. Now Butt will throw it, and it's complete downfield, and that's to an ineligible receiver. That will be Logan Engel. And Engel caught the throw from Butt, who got grabbed by the ankles at the Tiger 46-yard line. And Butt threw it to a wide open Logan Engel, and unfortunately, he is not an eligible receiver at that point in time.
Well, the other thing with that play is there's going to be tons of guys down the field illegally.
Yeah, illegally
so
down.
Even if it was an eligible receiver, there's tons of guys down the field that it's coming back no matter what. So
yeah, because they're all running downfield on the punt.
Right.
Yeah, and he pulled it down and started to run with it. And I don't, that obviously could not have been the call then, because if they don't know not to run downfield.
I think he has the option if he sees something, probably Carson Butt. If he sees something when he gets the ball on the punt, he can pull it down and take off. And it looked like initially he was going to get it, but a great play by, I didn't see the player on Stratford, but a great play to take him down, because Carson Butt is not easy to bring down.
Yeah, so it's ineligible receiver downfield, like you said, and loss of down. Tigers take over on downs at their own 43-yard line with 1:24 left in the second quarter. And the Tigers now have a little time to work with from their own 43. They're only 57 yards away. They could maybe do some damage here before halftime. So Mark Handrick back under center on first down. Handrick will hand it off the middle. And A.J. Sheenfoos, the ball carrier on that one, out to the 48-yard line. And a 5-yard gain for Sheenfoos. 2nd and 5 with a minute to play in the second quarter. Tigers quickly back to the line now. Handrick fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, throwing right side, diving catch by Vaughn Bright. Did it fall incomplete? He didn't get it to him. Boy, Vaughn Bright, now they say it's a catch at the Edgar 48-yard line. That's a catch to Vaughn Bright, a diving catch by Bright. 3rd and a yard, a 4-yard gain for Vaughn Bright. 3rd and 1. Handrick now rolling to his left on 3rd and a yard. He's going to pull it down and run for the first down. Taken down inbounds at the Edgar 45-yard line. And that will be enough to move the chains. Now he got to the 46-yard line. Give him a 2-yard gain. Enough for the first down on 3rd and a yard with 15 seconds left in the half. And the Tigers may be out of timeouts, are they?
No, they have one left.
They're not going to burn the timeout. They're going to try to get to the line, and now they're going to take the timeout. With 4.8 seconds left in the second quarter, not great clock management there by Stratford. They let over 10 seconds run.
Healthcare comes with worry. That's me.
And I'm here to replace them.
What? What do you mean, replace me? You can't replace me. I mean, look at you. No anxiety, no paranoia, not even a hint of neuroses. What's your biggest worry?
Don't have any. I'm security.
Biggest fear?
None.
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, I know this one. Happy thoughts.
I see his mouth moving, but I can't understand what's coming out of it.
It's poor, like you said, poor clock management. Now they got no timeouts left and 4.8 seconds, so you pretty much just got to throw a Hail Mary up and hope your receiver can make a play.
All right, so yeah, I didn't understand that. The Tigers call a timeout after letting 10 seconds wind off the clock, and now they've got, like you said, time for a shot downfield with 4.8 seconds left in the half. And if you're Edgar defensively, you can just put a couple of guys back deep and maybe watch for a, I don't know, some like hook and lateral plays or something like that. Tigers now on 1st and 10 from the Edgar 45-yard line. Hendrick back to pass, going deep over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted by Carson Butt at his own 10-yard line. Now they've got the return on. Edgar going to get a return going, and no, Butt is drilled at his own 34-yard line by Vaughn Bright and company. And that will end the first half here in Edgar. The Wildcats a 3-0 lead at the end of the first 2 quarters in this winner-take-all for the Marywood Conference title here tonight. A 3-point ball game at the half, and very interesting first half by these two teams. Like we have said throughout the first 2 quarters, kind of a conservative approach by these two clubs so far tonight.
Yeah, you know, if you like good defense, this is the game to be watching, because both these defenses are playing fabulous football right now. I mean, they are not giving much for yardage, and we'll be adding up some yardage here in the first half. There's hardly anything to add up, so I didn't get it added up yet, but both teams are probably under 100 yards each for the first half, so very, very good defensive performance. And again, the offensive coordinators for both these teams are going to need to make some adjustments and figure out some ways to attack these two stingy defenses, or we could be looking at a 3-0 game for quite a while here.
Wouldn't that be something, huh? Well, I don't know if we've ever had that in this rivalry. We've had some pretty tight ball games. I don't think it's ever been 3-0. I remember the 6-0 game that Edgar won in the playoffs a number of years ago, probably what, late 90s? No, 2001. Edgar had that 6-0 playoff win over Stratford after the Tigers had won the regular season matchup 7-6 that year. And that's when Edgar went on to win a state championship that year after a 6-0 win over the Tigers in the playoffs that year. There was a 9-0 Edgar win back in 2000, and a 6-0 Edgar win in '84, followed by an 8-0 win by the Wildcats the following year in 1985. Here we go. Stratford in 1976 beat Edgar 3-0.
Wow.
And that is the only time in this rivalry that we have had a 3-0 ball game, back in 1976. So 39 years ago.
Yeah, you know, and last year was 7-6, so it could take just that one big play. Whoever just makes a big play somehow, whether it's a trick play, whether it's a...
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda Edam and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
Healthcare comes with worry. That's me.
And I'm here to replace them.
What? What do you mean, replace me? You can't replace me. I mean, look at you. No anxiety, no paranoia, not even a hint of neuroses. What's your biggest worry?
Don't have any. I'm security.
Biggest fear?
None.
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, I know this one. Happy thoughts.
I see his mouth moving, but I can't understand what's coming out of it.
The local market wants to help you buy or sell your home. From Athens to Marathon and Edgar to Stratford, Scott Lemmer wants to be your hometown agent. Call Scott Lemmer at 715-574-3371 or find him at First Weber on Facebook or at firstweber.com.
Join us now as we talk high school volleyball with Stratford Tiger coach Brooke Kafka. The Tigers having very good success this year. They are the champions of the Merriwood Conference South Division and also ranked number 2 in the state in the WIAA Division III volleyball poll from the Wisconsin Volleyball Coaches Association. So a real solid season of Stratford volleyball for Coach Brooke Kafka.
You know, I think a lot of things have gone well for us this year. Our season started off really strong. We went to a new tournament this year in Onalaska with a variety of D1, D2, D3, D4 schools, and we came out with the first place there. So it was a great start for us. Quick turnaround, went to marathon tournament and took a first place there as well. Season-wise, we played a good variety of teams this year. Some new teams, some teams that we haven't played in a little while. Obviously our record is very good right now, 40-1 we're at this point. Newman was that tough game for us. We started off really strong against them, and then I think the mental game just kind of took care of us. But since then, I think they learned a lot about themselves and as a team, and they bounced back, took another first place at the Abbotsford tournament, had some good crossovers this year with the Merriwood North. Now we're sitting in a place where we have a number 1 seed ready to go into playoffs when everybody's record is back at 0-0. So.
Well, Brooke, tell us how you've built this program these last couple of years. It looks like you really kind of built the roster to peak this year, perhaps next year as well, but things have really come together for you this year.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time in our youth program. We have a great group of parents that have started a program for our kindergarten through 4th grade. We start our 4th through 8th grade playing in a spring league, just really getting the girls excited about the sport and teaching them the basics. So it's been fun when they get into middle school that we can dive in a little bit deeper with them. And so, yeah, there's a lot of these girls who showed at a young age that they were ready to play some tough ball. So they did start as freshmen, sophomores, and now they're the juniors and seniors, and it's paying off for them now.
Well, as good as this team has been this year, did you expect they would be quite this good this year?
I never know what to expect, and I think talent-wise, I can see talent, but there's a lot more beyond the scale of volleyball in the sport of volleyball, and to be able to look at all sides of that, we've definitely had our ups and downs. But yeah, I I mean, I think with the work that they put in and the talent that they do have, this is where I saw us, and I'm glad that we're here.
Well, tell us about some of these young ladies on your team and their roles on the squad this year.
We have senior Michaela Krall. She has been with us for the last couple of years and really shines on the court as a vocal leader. She does a nice job having others follow her by her actions. Two other seniors playing on the court this year that really stepped up. This is their first year having a playing position on varsity, both defensive players, Maddie Dahl and Olympia Garrigan, and they're both doing a fantastic job. Then we have a crew of juniors who have spent some time with us. Maisie Nagel, she's a leader on our court all the way around, and she's been that way for the last couple of years. It's fun to see her peaking too. And we have our two setters that have been setting for us for the last 3 years, and are also doing a nice job playing all 6 rotations on the court. Blair Lindner has been with us for a couple of years now too, and we're really starting to see some exciting things come out of her. Callie Lehman is another junior who saw a little bit of time last year, and we're really seeing some good things out of her this year too.
A very good squad you have this year. We hear a lot about Maisie Nagel, your leading kill player, and as you mentioned, she surpassed 1,000 kills for her career. Tell us about Maisie's game and what makes her such a dominant player.
You know, Maisie's a unique player. You know, she is a junior who has reached 1,000 kills, and that is really, truly something special, and we're also proud of her. She takes the game in control of her hands, and that's how she practiced as well. She's not, you know, she's not willing to just settle for anything but the best, and she really strives to get that out of her teammates too and hold them accountable for what she knows that they're worth.
Anybody else on your roster making some contributions this year?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So fun. We have such a good group of girls that we are definitely not a one-man team by any means. There's so many threats all the way around our court, both defensively and offensively, and I think that's why we're seeing the success that we are.
Okay, can you tell us about some of those young ladies also?
Like I said, Michaela Krall, she is one of our, probably like our second kill leader on the court. She plays in the middle kind of by default for an injury that happened in the past by another teammate, and she got pushed there, and she has just excelled so much in that area. She can jump out of the gym. And both, you know, offensively and defensively, she does a nice job. Our setters are doing a fantastic job taking control of the game and really running what they see works both for our offense, but also seeing how we line up against other teams' defenses. So we're really proud of what they're contributing to.
How about some things you really think are strengths of this team this year?
I would definitely say experience is one of our strengths. A lot of the girls have seen the court before. This isn't their first rodeo on varsity. I think, you know, we've defensively have been strong, but I think hand in hand our offense, you know, brings us just as much success as our defense brings us.
Okay, some very good talent there. Tell us now about the last couple of weeks of the season, how you're pinpointing your team for postseason play.
Yeah, I think at this point, we break down every game. We always break down every single game that we've played, and really pinpoint, like, where are those weaknesses, where are we falling short, and where do we need to push ourselves here, and just really fine-tuning things at this point.
How about some tough competition you may face in the region now? Some very good teams out there in the next couple of weeks.
You know, we always have to laugh because the Marywood Conference is so talented, and it's so fun for us to be able to see that throughout the season, but we will see a lot of that come playoffs as well. You know, I would expect, you know, if every team plays it the way they're supposed to play, we will probably see, you know, an Abbotsford and Athens sometime again in playoffs.
Awesome. It should be some very good competition. Tell us about your staff this year here at Stratford.
So we have a few new staff on board this year. Returning from last year, I have my assistant coach, Evan Krebsbach, and new to the varsity squad will be Amber Schneider. She's a former player here at Stratford, and she's been a good addition to our squad. JV coach Mandy Kraut-Kramer. She was with us last year as well. And then we have a new coach on staff this year, Danny Austin. She stepped in and really has done a nice job for us as well.
Tell us how the community, the students here have taken to volleyball with your team having such good success this year.
Yeah, it's really fun to see. I think even from when I started being a coach to where it is now, volleyball has become a sport that people are respecting and showing up to games for and excited about. I always think it's fun when I hear things from community members or co-workers about the season or the game, and they're asking questions, and I think how cool for the girls because they get it 10 times more than I do. So it's always fun to hear what they have to say, you know, what they heard from their teachers or their classmates or, you know, somebody walking down the street. It's been really exciting to see it unfold.
And Brooke, before we let you go, how about some words about us make you feel very good as well?
Oh, so cool. You know, we didn't get to see her this year. We saw her a few years past. We were able to go watch her play. You know, and she's been still surrounding us, helping with leagues and camps and things. But absolutely, it's so cool to see a former player go on to play.
Stratford Tiger volleyball coach Brooke Kafka. The Tigers, by the way, have a #1 seed in next week's regional, so they do not play in the opening round of postseason competition next Tuesday. They'll open postseason play next Thursday in the regional semifinals at home against the winner of Tuesday's contest between Thorpe and Colby. We'll come back with more of our halftime program following these messages.
You know, one-stop shopping seems to be the day. When it comes to automotive needs, the stop in Stratford is Clemmy Chevrolet. Whether it's service, body, or vehicle needs, Clemmy Chevrolet fills the bill. And if the dirt and bugs have conveniently collected on your vehicle, Clemmy Chevrolet offers a touchless car wash 24 hours a day. The right vehicle, the service you need, 24-hour car wash. You'll find it all at Clemmy Chevrolet Stratford.
Country Terrace of Stratford takes
90 seconds total here, 90 seconds total.
In tonight's game, Country Terrace backs the Tigers all the way. Care Partners, Country Terrace is a community-based residential facility for the elderly and handicapped who have been serving Stratford area residents for many years. Good luck, Tiger players, from the entire staff at Care Partners, Country Terrace of Stratford.
As the temperatures get colder, the exercise moves indoors to Rose Bowl Lanes in Marshfield. In October,
10 possessions.
11 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Each
on
team had the ball
Tuesdays,
5 times.
Sundays,
Really?
of $99 an hour for lane rental. On Sunday the 15th, of the Green and Gold Wash Party, $10 gets you a free glass to fill up with Miller products.
All right, here we go.
Plus, lots with all the fixings and a chance to win Tiger tickets. The Green and Gold Wash Party, Sunday the 15th at Rose Bowl Lanes in Marshfield.
All right, back here at Wildcat Stadium at Edgar High School and Merriwood Conference football coverage tonight here on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ Spencer Marshfield, and online at WOSQFM.com. You can also watch a live stream of this game. Just search Stratford Tiger News on Facebook, and you will find the live stream there with the radio call.
7 carries for 20 yards. He led the Edgar Wildcats. Carson Butt was kind of the star in the first half. He was 5 for 6 for 56 yards. So he was very effective passing the ball, and maybe Edgar's going to have to go a little bit more to the passing game in the second half because he was able to connect on, like I said, 5 out of 6. Stratford Tigers, boy, dismal offensive first half. Cade Erke, 5 carries for 5 yards, and Mark Handrick had 2 carries for 6 yards. They were the leading rushers for the Stratford Tigers. They had a total of 22 yards of rushing in the first half and 22 yards of passing, so a total of 44 yards for the Stratford Tigers in the first half.
Wow. All right, halftime stats brought to you by Egg Country Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities as we start the third quarter The Edgar Wildcats kicking off right to left. Teddy Redmond having trouble finding the ball. He finally picks it up and then gets drilled inside his own 15-yard line. They're going to spot him down at the Tiger 13-yard line, and Redmond will put the Tigers in a hole to start the third quarter.
Yeah, in this game, that's a huge play because it's been a field position battle, and right away, like you said, the Stratford Tigers are in a hole at their own 13.
Wow, big play there by the Edgar cover team, and so Mark Handrick, the Tiger quarterback, working left to right as we watch the action. 1st and 10 from his own 13-yard line, and on first down, off right tackle A.J. Sheenfoos, the ball carrier. And Sheenfoos maybe a yard to the 14, and that's it. And I think that's just his second carry of the night.
Yeah, again, there was nothing there. I mean, he got the ball, and there's nowhere to run.
So good stop there by this Edgar defense. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers at their own 14-yard line. Handrick now back to pass. Deep left side, taking a shot. Double coverage on the tight end Eli Drexler, and Handrick missed the mark, didn't even come close on that one. And another overthrow by Handrick. 3rd and 9 coming up for the Tigers.
It's probably a good thing he did overthrow that one because, again, Carson Butt, he's reading the passing game really well from his safety position. He came over to help double again on that receiver, and he would have picked it off if it would have been right on target because he was right there.
All right, so a 3rd and 9 for the Tigers at their own 14-yard line with 11:13 left in the third quarter, just underway here in the second quarter. Handrick under center and hands it off. Nope, double reverse and then a halfback option throw to Dylan Dellinger. I believe Handrick, didn't he hand it off?
He did. He gave it to, I think it was Max Schwabe, I believe.
Schwabe got the ball, and then Schwabe handed it off to Dylan Dellinger. Or no, Schwabe threw it to Dylan Dellinger. And a gain of about a gain of 5 out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 4th and 4. And the Tigers will punt the ball away. They go 3 and out to start the third quarter. Carson Butt receives the Stratford punt at midfield and gets taken down there. Good takedown by Kalen Schmidt. And again, Kalen has made a couple of great plays defensively. And so Butt hauled down at the Tiger 49 though. So a net of basically 29 yards on the punt.
Yeah, and that's not too bad. In high school, that's not a bad punt, especially when you got a returner like Butt back there. He went east and west rather than north and south and wasn't able to turn the corner, so we've got very little on that return.
So the Wildcats force a 3 and out by Stratford to start the third quarter, now leading 3-0. Wildcats have the ball at the Tiger 49-yard line, working right to left, as Carson Butt on first down hands the ball off to Will Rates. Rates off the left side down to the 45-yard line, and a gain of 4, and 2nd and 6 coming up. 10 minutes gone or left, a couple minutes gone by in the third quarter, and the Edgar Wildcats with that 3-0 lead. A 29-yard field goal by Josh Burish in the first quarter, the only scoring in this ball game so far here tonight. 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats from the left hash, working right to left. Carson Butt under center, backs are split behind him, wing to the left, and Carson Butt rolling to his right on first down. Now he's going to pull it down and run. Running room off the right side, 40, 35, shoved out of bounds near the 31-yard line, and it's a 24-yard gain for Carson Butt and an Edgar first down.
That play's been very effective all game when they run it. They haven't run it a lot, They've run it maybe 3 or 4 times with Butt rolling to the right, and he's had wide open field, and he's completed some passes and decided to run that one. Again, he had a lot of green. He could have done a lot of different things, but got a 24-yard gain, which was a great play by Butt.
14, but actually 15 at the 30-yard line. I misspoke on that. So it's a 15-yard run by Carson Butt, and now Reitz on first down off left tackle. I think I said 24 accidentally. I meant 14, but they gave him 15 on the carry. Now Reitz for 3 down to the 27-yard line. And with 9 minutes to go in the third, Edgar driving here at the Tiger 27-yard line. Carson Butt back to the line, under center, backs are split, receiver wide to the right. It's a give up the middle to Ty Gooden. And Gooden gets a good push down to the 25-yard line, a gain of 2. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Martin on the tackle.
And big 3rd and 5 right here for this Tiger defense.
You know, you might want to go back to that little rollout play, you know, fake the handoff up the middle, get Butt to the outside on the edge, because then he can do what he wants. He can pull it down. He's a really great runner, one of the best runners on this team, actually, at quarterback, and also throw the ball.
3rd and 5 for Carson Butt under center. He'll roll it out to the left, and then on an option, he'll toss it to Reitz. Will 3 down the near sideline to the end zone for an Edgar touchdown on a beautiful option play by Carson Butt on an option play off the left side. Butt just flips it out to Will Reitz, who does the rest of the work down the left sideline and right past the Tiger defense into the end zone for 6.
You know, that's something creative. Something we haven't seen in the first half at all was an option play, and again, caught the Tiger defense off guard. They did run into the short side of the field, which is a little surprising, but he still had enough room to tiptoe down the sideline and was able to get a touchdown.
On 3rd and 5, Reitz on the option toss from Carson Butt goes 25 yards down the left sideline and into the end zone for an Edgar touchdown. Burish now will attempt the PAT. And the high snap pulled down, kick on the way, and it's good. And with 7:58 left in the third, Edgar grabs a 10-0 lead here at Edgar High School. Stratford gets the ball back when we return in just a moment.
Here's another Tooth Truth from Dental Clinic of Marshfield.
To fight tooth decay, seal it out. Regular brushing,
30.
and foods are the
Healthcare comes with worry. That's me.
And I'm here to replace them.
What? What do you mean, replace me? You can't replace me. I mean, look at you. No anxiety, no paranoia, not even a hint of neuroses. What's your biggest worry?
Don't have any. I'm security.
Biggest fear?
None.
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, I know this one. Happy thoughts.
I see his mouth moving, but I can't understand what's coming out of it.
49-yard line, and the Tigers had to go 3 and out to start the half, and an okay punt, but Stratford still allowing Edgar to start in Tiger territory, and they made him pay.
Yeah, and that was a big play we're waiting for, like we had mentioned at halftime or at the end of the first half. It was going to take a big play maybe to score a touchdown, and there it was. Off the option on a 25-yard scamper, was able to get the touchdown, and that was the big play that Edgar needed. Now it's up to Stratford to come up with some sort of creative play or something different to fool this Edgar defense, because, again, like we said, the whole first half, the basic stuff just is not working. You can't sustain a drive. These defenses just seem to be too good.
So now down 10-0, the Tigers will get the ball. Edgar kicking off right to left, taken by Teddy Redmond. I believe that's Teddy, inside his own 10. Redmond with a nice return out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20 with 7:52 remaining in the third quarter. Edgar now leading 10-0.
First and 10, Stratford.
So let's see what quarterback Mark Hendrick and this Tiger offense can do. We should mention their line. We have not mentioned them yet. Lucas Barton is the right guard. Dylan Sheener, the center. Ben Barton, the left tackle. Aiden Hoffman, the left guard. And Connor Malterer is the right tackle. Now, Cade Erkey is under center, right?
Yeah.
On this play, and he's going to keep it on a wildcat formation type play. Boy, oh boy, that used to be the, you know, that was the hot thing for a while when the NFL started running a lot of wildcat stuff. And you don't see that a lot anymore, but there's Cade Erkey lining up under center. And a gain of 2 on the play. And 2nd and 8 coming up. Tigers working left to right. Erkey again is going to take the snap, I believe. And he'll run it off the right side. Erkey trying to get to the edge. And out across the 25 to the 26. He'll get 4 on the play. And 3rd and 4 coming up.
This is pretty basic. Erkey's just taking the snap under center. He's not even getting the shotgun, and he's just running around off tackle or off guard, and he's doing it again.
Erkey again under center on 3rd and 4. I don't think Hendrick is even in the ball game at this point. Erkey rolling to his left. Now he'll throw, and the pass is batted down by Schroffnagel and incomplete. Cade Schroffnagel came in as Erkey tried to throw up a pass, and Schroffnagel made him eat it, and the ball gets batted down by Schroffnagel, doing his best J.J. Watt imitation right there.
J.J. Swat, you mean?
That's what I mean. Wow. Erkey didn't get off a good pass at all. Schroffnagel swats it down, and it will be another 3 and out for the Tigers, and now in punt formation. And a good punt here by the Tigers, and Carson Butt going to let it bounce, and the Tigers will down it at the Edgar 49-yard line. But the Tigers go 3 and out for another possession here in the 3rd quarter, and Edgar gets the ball back in excellent field position at their own 49-yard line, leading 10-0 with 6:19 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I would say that experiment kind of failed with Erkey taking the snap and just running it himself, basically, or trying to throw on the 3rd down. That is something I wouldn't go back to. I give him credit for trying something different, but there's no creativity there. It's just very basic again.
So the Wildcats now working right to left, and Carson Butt toss left side on 1st down, and a toss to Caleb Haferman off the left side to midfield, a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd and 9. With 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, Edgar leading Stratford 10-0 in this big Merriwood Conference Championship matchup here tonight. Winner takes the conference. Both these teams at 5-0 coming into tonight's conference matchup. Marathon in 3rd place at 3-2. Auburndale in 4th place at 3-3. 2nd and 9, handoff Haferman again, right side, no gain, and it'll be 3rd and 9. With 5.5 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and again, Edgar on top, 10-0. We've got Badger football tomorrow afternoon here on WOSQ. The Badgers and Purdue at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. Our Badger coverage begins at 12:30, and that is a 2:30 kickoff time at Camp Randall. You know that Coach Sins and his family will be heading down to Camp Randall tomorrow morning to watch Justin, now a member of the coaching staff at Purdue. Here's a handoff on 3rd and 9 to Ty Gooden up the middle for 3 yards, and that's it. 4th and 6 coming up.
I think the way Edgar's kind of called the plays in that particular possession, I don't think they think Stratford can score on their defense, because there's three very conservative plays, just 3 up the middle runs for a total of 4 yards. Did not attempt to pass, and Bud has been good at making good decisions, but they just ran 3 up the middle and going to punt it.
4th and 7, so Edgar back to punt the ball away, and taken by Stratford at the 20-yard line. Not much of a return there, and Tigers will start at their own 25-yard line with 4:04 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and trailing Edgar 10-0. And Marywood Conference football tonight on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield, and online at WOSQFM.com. Tigers from their own 25. Mark Handrick back in at quarterback. Tries to set up a screen left side to Cade Erkey, and it's over Erkey's head and incomplete. Schroffnagel was all over him anyway, and even if he did catch the ball, he's probably better off not catching it. He's going to lose yardage if he hauls that one in. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, also Cade Littleton was in there on the blitz and got right in the face of Handrick on that one, so he had no chance to get rid of that one or complete that one.
Spencer Columbus, by the way, leading Glenwood City now 26-13. Here's a screen pass, right side. Dylan Dellinger catches it at the 23-yard line and shoved backwards, and he's going to lose a couple yards on a screen pass from Handrick. 3rd and 12 coming up. Another screen pass, and that one, again, that one would have been better off being dropped or incomplete by Dellinger.
Well, the thing is, the Edgar defense is playing so close to the line of scrimmage. I mean, they've got guys right there, so anything short, they're going to be on it because they don't respect anything that Stratford can do deep. Stratford's going to have to send some people deep and throw the ball down the field. 3rd and 12, Handrick rolling to his left, now throwing over the middle, incomplete, trying to get it to Eli Drexler downfield, incomplete, and 4th down and 12 coming up. By the way, Abbotsford now leads Loyal 7-0 in Loyal. That one for all the marbles in the Cloverwood Conference tonight, as both of those teams, I believe, are undefeated in conference play. I'm not sure, but I know they're tied atop the Cloverwood, so the winner of that game tonight takes that championship, as the Tigers, again, 3 and out. Carson Butt, fair catch, he missed the ball, and it's muffed. Ball rolling back into Edgar territory, and I believe Caleb Haferman got on top of it all the way back at the Edgar 33-yard line after Butt muffed it on a fair catch attempt, and that ball then went rolling backward into Edgar territory, and Haferman finally able to fall on it back at the 33-yard line. Boy, if the Tigers can get on that one, what a huge momentum swing that would have been. Stratford had the first crack at it because when Bud initially muffed it, Stratford had 2 or 3 guys that jumped on the ball, but the ball came squirting backwards another 5 or 6 yards, and then an alert Haferman was able to beat the rest of the Stratford guys there and get on it before they could. Wow, a great play by Haferman to get that back.
Great job by Haferman. Edgar has it at their own 32 on a 1st and 10. And now off left tackle, Will Rates, the ball carrier, out across the 35 to the 36-yard line, and a gain of 4 on 1st down with 2:40 now remaining in the 3rd. And again, Spencer Columbus leading Glenwood City 26-13 at Glenwood City. Abbotsford leading Loyal 7-0. Both those teams undefeated in the Cloverwood Conference, battling for that championship. Now Carson Butt rolling to his left on 2nd and 6. Pass over the middle, down the left side, complete to Colton Heil, the big tight end. Heil hauls it in at the the Stratford 44-yard line and runs it all the way down to the Tiger 30-yard line. And a big gain for the Wildcats. On 2nd and 6, they mark it at the Tiger 20-yard line, I believe, right? That is a 44-yard pass play from Carson Butt to tight end Colton Heil on a little lob pass almost. Not really a screen pass, but he didn't have to throw it too deep either. Now a quick hitter up the middle for Will Rates on 1st and 10, a couple of yards down to the 18. But what a great play on 2nd and 6, and Butt just kind of flipped it out to Heil, who caught it in stride going down the left sideline.
Again, it was that rollout play where they faked the run up the middle, and Butt comes rolling out to his left this time. And again, it's been very effective all night when they've run it. He has no pressure, and he can look at the whole field, and he just, like you said, he's picking them apart when he gets out there.
All right, so 2nd and 8 here, and another handoff to Rates up the middle. And not a lot of running room, maybe a yard to the 17. 3rd and about 7 coming up. So 3rd and 7, under a minute to play now in the 3rd quarter. And the Wildcats a big 3rd and 7 here. And we have an officials timeout, and there's I think an equipment issue with one of the Tiger players, so now they're all set. Might have been Erkey back there. All right, so that's fixed, and now here's the 3rd and 7 play. Screen pass left side. Butt has his pass knocked down. Might have been Malterer who got his hands up from his defensive end position. He is 6'2", and I think it was knocked down by Malterer on 3rd and 7, and on the incomplete pass, that'll bring up a 4th and 7 for the Wildcats with 42 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and Edgar leading Stratford 10-0. I guess you just go for it here if you're the Wildcats, right?
You have to, because you're so far down there, it doesn't pay to punt.
4th and 7, but rolling to his right on a quarterback keeper. He'll just run it off the right side for maybe a yard, and that's it. Gain of a yard on 4th and 7, and the Wildcats will turn the ball over on downs with 36 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Tigers take over on downs, trailing 10-0.
Again, I don't really understand the call there. You got 4th and 7. And Butt has been very good at rolling out after he's faked the handoff and had tons of real estate, tons of grass. And he just basically did a read option, but it was right in the middle, so there was really no read. It was just a fake, and then Butt just going off tackle.
All right, so the Tigers get the ball back from their own 16-yard line, and a screen pass near side. Handrick completes the pass to Vaughn Bright out across the 20-yard line. Bright then spun out of bounds at about the 21, and a gain of 5 on 1st down. And 2nd and 5 coming up.
Nice throw there by Mark Handrick. I mean, that throw it far across the field because of the sideline route. It was an out to Bright, and he had to throw that ball a long ways, and he got it out there right on time for a nice 5-yard gain.
All right, so 2nd and 5 now from the 21. Screen pass left side, Dellinger. Penalty marker out from backfield, or Success is where the penalty marker came in. Dellinger on the screen pass, not much running room. The line of scrimmage, the 21. It's a face mask against the Wildcats. Tigers have a 2nd down play when we start the 4th quarter in just a moment. One minute, 61 minute.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Back here at Wildcat Stadium, Edgar High School, as we move to the fourth quarter now. The Edgar Wildcats leading the Stratford Tigers 10-0. As we start the fourth quarter, Stratford will have a 2nd and 5 from their own 31-yard line. And a quick screen. And the intended target was Eli Drexler. That brings up 3rd and 5.
That was a good try. I mean, it was a good try on a lateral pass backwards, and then trying to kind of do a trick play, but the pass was just kind of a dunk. It didn't come out of his hands.
Now 3rd and 5. And what was the play there? Run up the middle for no gain. 4th and 5, ball at the 31-yard line. So no gain on that run. Didn't see who ran the ball. And the Tigers on 4th and 5 will bring on the punt team yet again. Good kick here. Hauled in by Haferman inside his own 40, back at about the Edgar 37-yard line. And one other quick update here. Columbus Soccer today defeated Amherst 2-1. And the Dons capture the conference championship. How about that?
The Dons have been pretty solid in soccer the last few years, so they're continuing that now this year. And hopefully they can do a lot of damage in the playoffs.
A dynasty in the making. Hey, anytime we can beat Amherst in anything, right? You know,
That's true.
Dominated Spencer or Spencer Columbus in football and some other stuff. Well, you know, we go back to that state football game, right? I'll remember that one, unfortunately.
I don't think we want to.
So we'll beat Amherst any way they can, right? Not we, they, but. 37-yard line, the line of scrimmage, as Edgar takes over on 1st and 10. A run off the left side. Did you see who that was?
No, I didn't.
Did you see who was the ball carrier on that one? Ty Gooden off left side. Out across the 40 to the 41. Gooden with a gain of 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 now. Edgar from the left hash going left to right now with the ball. And here's Rates, tripped up in the backfield. Boy, great play by, I think Ben Barton tripped him up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard, and that's it. So 3rd and 5 now with 10-15 and counting as the Wildcats have the ball and a 10-0 lead over the Stratford Tigers. And the Tigers offensively just, Todd, have struggled tonight.
Yeah, they have 17-23. They've got 34 yards rushing tonight, the Stratford Tigers.
Wow. 3rd and 5 from the 42. And Carson Butt under center, handoff. Will Rates right side across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And get a gain of 4 yards. It'll bring up 4th and 1 for the Wildcats. And they'll bring on the punt team. And you know, I think you said it earlier, they just don't respect the Stratford offense enough to go for it here. And why would you with a 10-0 lead? Just punt the ball away, play a little field position. And the Tigers have not been able to move the ball real well tonight, so why not?
Yeah, they were just riding their defense tonight and knowing how good they are and that they don't feel Stratford can score.
Carson Butt with the punt taken by the Tigers at their own 24-yard line. A.J. Shanefoos. Shanefoos finds some running room down the far sideline, going right to left out across the 40, and finally taken down at about the 41-yard line. And that's where the Tigers will get the ball back, but trailing 10-0 with 8:49 left in regulation. They certainly have plenty of time. And some pretty good field position as well.
Stratford's going to have to take some shots down the field because Edgar is crowding the line of scrimmage so much that any screens or anything like that just aren't effective because everybody's up by the line of scrimmage. They've got to stretch the field. Of course, they got to give protection to Hendrick so he can do that.
All right, so here's Hendrick on first down. Hands it off to, was it Redmond? No, it was Becker off the right side. And Becker out to the 44-yard line. A gain of 3 and 2nd and 7 coming up. By the way, another scoring update. Loyal has now grabbed an 8-7 lead over Abbotsford with 7 minutes left in that one at Loyal High School. Abbey had taken a 7-0 lead. The Greyhounds have now gone up 8-7 at Loyal in that Cloverwood Conference Championship at Loyal High School.
I really like the way Stratford is changing up here a little bit now. They tried that back pass last time, and the previous play they just ran a reverse. They got 3 or 4 yards. There, they ran a couple of different fakes. Fake to one guy, fake to another guy, and handed to the third guy, and he got a nice gain out of that.
Yeah, Teddy Redmond, 5 yards off the right side to midfield, and a 3rd and 1 at the 50-yard line coming up for the Tigers with 7:40 remaining in regulation. 3rd and 1, Hendrick under center, backs are split behind him. He'll turn and give it to Erke. Well, he faked it one way. I think he faked it to Erke and gave it to Dellinger. Dellinger around the left end for a first down inside the Edgar 45 to the 43-yard line after a gain of 7.
This is what I was talking about in the first half. Got to mix it up a little bit. Now they're starting to do it. They're starting to run some misdirection stuff. They're starting to do some fakes. You got to fool the Edgar defense. They're just too good to run straight at them. And they've tried that for 34 yards in the first 3.5 quarters, and now they're mixing it up a little bit.
1st and 10 at the, it might be too late though.
Well,
1st and 10 at the Edgar 43-yard line. Hendrick, handoff right side, and wrapped up in the backfield. And I believe, was that Shanefoos?
Chappell.
All right. Matthew Chappell. Chappell, the ball carrier on that one, and he lost 2 on the play. Chappell's one of those guys that normally he plays on the offensive line, defensive line, and then heck, if you need a running back, he'll do that too. Now the ball came out on 2nd and 12. Is that on the exchange?
It was.
And Stratford back on top of it, back at the Edgar 47-yard line, but they'll lose 2 more yards on the play. And it will be 3rd and 14 for the Tigers from the Edgar 47-yard line, and with 6:15 remaining in regulation.
Hendrick was trying to fake, make a fake to one of the running backs, and I think he fumbled it as he kind of banged into the guy on the fake and couldn't make the second handoff.
3rd and 14. Handrick back to pass now, under pressure, steps up, he's gonna run, got running room off the left side inside the 40, makes a man miss at the 35-yard line, and runs for a first down, I believe. He's gonna be very close on 3rd and 14. Handrick made Burrish miss at the 35, got the extra yardage he needed. Boy, he's gonna be close, and the spot of the ball looks like it's short. On 3rd and 14, he goes for 3rd and 14, he goes for 13 yards, and it brings up 4th and a yard on the scramble by Mark Handrick. And now there's a timeout on the field with 5:47 remaining in regulation. Boy, nice run for Mark Handrick, though, and I thought he had it.
He made a nice move at the end, like you said, making Burrish miss. He gave him a little juke and juked him out and got a couple extra yards, but just couldn't stretch it out far enough to get that first down.
So on 3rd and 14, Handrick scrambles for 13, setting up a 4th and 1 with 5:47 left in regulation time. By the way, Spencer Columbus now leading Glenwood City 32-13, and the Rockets will finish the regular season on a high note as they get ready for those seeding meetings coming up tomorrow. We'll find out by the end of the day tomorrow. We should know when, where, and who these teams will be playing in the postseason.
Yeah, I think Spencer Columbus is set up for a solid run in the playoffs again to get deep, and then it's just a matter of who they end up playing in that 2nd or 3rd round when it starts getting tougher.
We may have to break into the Badger game tomorrow afternoon to give some updates on where some of these teams might be headed, if we know that soon. 4th and a yard for the Tigers from the Edgar 34. Handrick got a roll out to his right, running room, all but a penalty marker down as Handrick runs inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. A penalty marker down near the line of scrimmage, and this one is a hold on the Tigers on 4th and a yard, and Handrick had the first down and then some, but a big holding penalty on Stratford, and this one will come back.
I actually saw that one. It was on the right side, the tight end, on the right side of the line, and that's where Handrick ran because he did a bootleg out to the right side, and the guy just tackled the defensive end for Edgar so that he could get outside, and it allowed him to get the first down because, again, he wasn't able to hold the edge once he got tackled.
Oh, man, a big penalty on 4th and a yard, and Handrick had it by a mile all the way down near the 25-yard line. Now a 10-yard penalty, 4th and 11 now. Ball back at the 44-yard line. Handrick rolling to his left. Now he'll step up, throws deep down the left sideline. Got a man at the edge at the boundary. Eli Drexler can't haul it in. I think he was out of bounds anyway. And that will be incomplete, and the Tigers will turn the ball over on downs with 5:22 remaining in the 4th quarter, and that will just about do it, right?
Well, Handrick just hasn't been able to hit the deep throws. He's had a couple instances where guys have been open, but a lot of times that secondary for the Edgar Wildcats has done a good job. And I know been mentioning Carson Budd a lot because he plays the free safety back there. He seems to read pretty well where he needs to be to help out his cornerbacks, and he's been in on a lot of plays when they've tried to throw deep, which Stratford hasn't thrown deep very much, but when they have, Budd and the cornerbacks have been in pretty good coverage.
So Edgar takes over on downs at their own 44-yard line. Carson Budd hands off to Will Reitz on first down out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, and 2nd and 7 as the Wildcats work left to right with 5:12 remaining in regulation, and the Wildcats leading this ball game 10-0. And the Wildcats looks like they're going to hang on and win this big matchup here tonight.
Yeah, Stratford has to come up with a turnover here. They need to force a turnover to have any chance to win this game right now. So they got to be going for the ball, punching at it, trying to put your helmet on it, maybe shooting a blitz in there to try to disrupt a handoff. Because I expect Edgar to stay fairly conservative.
All right, 2nd and about 6 here. Handoff up the middle. Haferman gets the ball. Caleb out across midfield to the Tiger 49-yard line. And gain of 3. And 3rd and about 3, maybe 2.5 coming up. With 4:20 now left in the ball game. Carson Butt under center, backs are split, wing to the right, receiver wide right on 3rd and a couple. Butt will fake a handoff. He will hand it off to Will Rates, who dives inside the Tiger 45 to the 44. First down for now. There's a penalty marker down on the play. And it's a hold against Edgar. And the Wildcats will get backed up 10 yards. The hold occurred right around the line of scrimmage, and that will set up about a 3rd and 13 now, back at the Edgar 43-yard line, or 42-yard line, I guess. With just inside 4 minutes left now in regulation time. Edgar leading 10-0 in this big matchup here this evening. But back to the line now, just trying to run clock too as much as he can. He'll fake a handoff, rolls out to his right, on the run, he'll throw downfield, and he's got a wide open Hendrick, the tight end, at the Tiger 45-yard line. A 13-yard pass to Hendrick on 3rd and about 12. After the hold, they pick up the first down.
Again, the rollout to the right, that's been super effective play tonight for Edgar, and give Carson Butt a lot of credit. He's been spot on tonight with those throws. He's had a terrific night managing his the passing game for the Edgar Wildcats.
Certainly has. Now a 1st and 10 at the Stratford 45-yard line, and 3 minutes remaining. Here's the handoff, left side, Ty Gooden. Good push down to the 41-yard line. Gooden had pick up a 4 on the play. And 2nd and 6 coming up. Just 2 scoring plays in this game, and now the Tigers, I believe, are going to spend a timeout on defense here with 3.
Healthcare comes with worry. That's me.
And I'm here to replace them.
What? What do you mean replace me? You can't replace me. I mean, look at you. No anxiety, no paranoia, not even a hint of neuroses. What's your biggest worry?
Don't have any. I'm security.
Biggest fear?
None.
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, I know this one. Happy thoughts.
I see his mouth moving, but I can't understand what's coming out of it.
Back here at Edgar High School, the Wildcats with a 2nd and 6 from the Stratford 40-yard line. 3:08 remaining in regulation. Edgar leading the Tigers 10-0. Edgar working left to right. Time winding out in this one. And the Wildcats on a 2nd and 6, but from the right hash, backs are split, wing to the right on 2nd and 6. A handoff to Rates off left tackle, and Rates runs over a tackler at the 37-yard line and takes it down to the 35, and a gain of 5, and 3rd and a yard coming up. And I mean, he just lowered his shoulder and put the boom on somebody. as the SC Rockets have now grabbed a 38-13 lead on Glenwood City with time winding down in that one. Third and a yard from the 35, 2:20 left in this one, and Carson Butt back under center. Backs are split behind him, wing left on third and a yard. He will hand it off to Rates, straight ahead for a yard and then some, maybe a couple, and that should do it. Should be able to run the clock out from here. Rates down to the 33, 2 more yards for Will Rates, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Edgar at the Stratford 33-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go now, and Edgar has put this one away.
They have. This is a nice solid drive here, just moving the chains and keeping the clock running. Stratford just can't get the ball back.
And handoff straight ahead for, let's see who that was. Ty Gooden, the ball carrier. And 2 yards down to the 31-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up with 90 seconds in the ball game. We have a timeout here.
No, clock's still running.
Edgar just substituting some guys in and out of the ball game. And yeah, clock's still running here. Edgar taking as much time off the clock as they can. 2nd and 8 from the 31-yard line. And now, Edgar needs a timeout. We'll take it with him with 1:09 left in the ball game. Edgar on top, 10-0, and we'll...
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion.
The ball game, they have a 2nd and 8 coming up from the Tiger 31-yard line, and the Wildcats just have to run the clock out here, Todd. They have a very impressive win to get to 9-0 on the year and claim another Merriwood Conference title with a win over the Tigers here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Stratford's going to use their timeouts. They're just going to let it go.
Here's a handoff to Rates up the middle. Will Rates down to the Tiger 25-yard line. A 7-yard gain for Rates. And that will set up 3rd and 1 as we're inside a minute to play now in this ball game. And like you said, the Tigers not going to stop the clock here and just let Edgar run the clock out to claim yet another Merriwood Conference championship, their first in 3 years. Rates again up the middle, a big run down near the 16-yard line. 8 yards on that one for Will Rates. And that'll take us down to about 30 seconds, and they may have to run one more play. That might be it.
I don't think they have to run another one. It should be over.
That should be it. The clock winding down. Edgar will come to the line on a 1st and 10 from the Tiger 15-yard line. About a 9-yard gain, I guess. Victory formation for the Edgar Wildcats. Carson Butt takes the knee. They'll lose 2 yards on the play back to the 17-yard line. At the end of the game, a very I mentioned that because it's a 10-play drive to basically end the ball game. They possess the ball. They don't let the Tigers get the ball back, and that ends the game. That's a very that's probably maybe, if you look back on it, maybe the most impressive or one of the most impressive 10-play drives that ends in nothing, but it puts the game away and preserves the win for Edgar here tonight.
It does, and you talk about that in the fourth quarter when you can play with a lead and you can keep the clock running by keeping the ball away from the other team. And that's exactly what Edgar did. They decided that we're just going to keep this ball and we're not going to give Stratford any more chances to try to score. And again, like you said, a 10-play drive doesn't amount to anything except running the clock out and winning the game.
Yeah, Edgar wins their first Merriwood Conference Championship in 3 years by beating the Stratford Tigers here tonight, 10-0 at Wildcat Stadium at Edgar High School. And so the Wildcats finish their season undefeated at 9-0, and they claim their first Merriwood Conference title since 2014. Stratford won the conference last year, Marathon the year before. Edgar won it in 2014 to cap a 7-year run atop the conference. Stratford, Marathon, and Edgar won it in 2013, but it was Edgar from 2008 through 2014. Marathon won it a few years ago. Tigers won it last year. And Edgar reclaims the Merriwood Conference Championship with a 10-0 shutout win over the Wildcats here in Edgar tonight. And the Wildcats also cap off an undefeated season, and they go to 9-0, and a shutout win over the Tigers, their 8th shutout win of the year. They have given up just 12 points on the season. That was a few weeks ago when Marathon was able to score a couple times on them. But that's been it for this Wildcats team this year.
A lot of zeros on the stat sheet here, which is pretty impressive. Like you said, 9 games and only got scored on 1 time by one team, I should say. 12 points. The other ones are all goose eggs. And another shutout again tonight for that impressive and vaunted Edgar defense.
Yeah, Edgar shutting out Stratford for the first time in 7 years. The last time was in 2010 when Edgar defeated the Tigers 32-0. Edgar won the Merriwood and the state title that year. They also shut out Stratford the year before that in 2009, 41-0. And so they have a couple of recent shutout wins over the Stratford Tigers, but this is the first one in 7 years. Edgar with a 10-0 win over the Tigers here at Edgar High School tonight. They win the outright Merriwood Conference Championship by beating Stratford 10-0 here this evening. Stick around, we'll have a full recap of this one on our post-game report from Edgar High School following these messages.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968.
Edgar Wildcats are your 2017 Merriwood Conference champions. They defeat the Stratford Tigers here tonight by a final score of 10-0. The Loyal Greyhounds have won the Cloverwood Conference Championship. Loyal getting a come-from-behind win tonight over the Abbotsford Falcons, 8-7 at Loyal High School tonight. And the Abbey Falcons had grabbed a 7-0 lead in that ball game. But the Greyhounds, well, apparently get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, I'm guessing, to grab an 8-7 lead, and they hang on for the win. That's the final score. Big win by the Loyal Greyhounds. I believe that's their first conference championship of any kind for high school football in Loyal.
Really?
I believe so.
Wow, big night in Loyal.
Big night in Loyal indeed. The Greyhounds grab the Cloverwood Conference Championship with an 8-7 win over the Abbotsford Falcons tonight. And the last time we checked, Spencer Columbus was leading Glenwood City 45-13. And at one point, that game was, I think, tied at 13. And then Glenwood City hasn't scored since the first half. Spencer Columbus rolls over Glenwood City 44-13, excuse me, 44-13, the score in that one. I don't think that's a final, but it should be very shortly. So Spencer Columbus wins, the Loyal Greyhounds win, and the Edgar Wildcats win tonight here at Wildcat Stadium, defeating the Stratford Tigers 10-0. I did not think, to be honest with you, Todd, I didn't think we were going to see a shutout tonight by Edgar.
No, I didn't think so either. I thought that Stratford was too good to allow Edgar to shut them out. But again, you know, the Edgar defense is just 9 starters back from last year's state championship team, and they're fast, they're smart, and they just are everywhere out there. I mean, there's just nobody open. I mean, a lot of those passes, Hendrick could go back, and either he'd have so much pressure that he couldn't look the field over, or if he did have a little bit of time, the receivers weren't really open. I mean, he had a couple instances where he could have put it on a receiver maybe and hit a deep one, but for the most part, there just was nothing there. And if they threw anything short, Edgar was so close to the line of scrimmage that they were attacking any sort of screen that just couldn't block all the Edgar defenders. And the running game for Stratford was basically nil until that one drive at the end in the fourth quarter. They started to mix it up just a bit, but not enough to sustain any sort of a drive.
Yeah, so Edgar holds off the Stratford Tigers tonight, and the Wildcats get the win 10-0 over Stratford to claim the Merriwood Conference Championship here with a win this evening. And stay with us, we'll have a complete summary of this one on our post-game report from Edgar High School after this. 90 seconds.
This is where Scott was raised and is now raising his own family. He's starting a new career with First Weber of Wausau and wants to be your hometown real estate guy. Scott knows the local market and wants to help you buy or sell your home. From Athens to Marathon and Edgar to Stratford, Scott Lemmer wants to be your hometown agent. Call Scott Lemmer at 715-574-3371 or find him at First Weber on Facebook or at firstweber.com. 100 years ago, many local farmers were still plowing their fields with horses. Today, many of our ag customers are banking online from laptops. Agriculture keeps changing, but one thing that always remains the same is that you can count on our experience. Partners Bank, member FDIC.
Probably don't think too much about your floors, right? But when they need replacing or you want something different, quality, affordability, durability, and design are probably all you think about. Rest assured, you'll find all those things and more at Rice's Capital Carpet in Marshfield. Whether you're looking for hardwood, vinyl, tile, laminate, waterproof flooring, or even window treatment, Rice's Capital Carpet has one of the largest inventories in the area. Let one of the friendly and knowledgeable sales staff at Rice's Capital Carpet put flooring under your feet that you can't stop thinking about. Visit them on Facebook or online at ricerug.com.
All right, we are back here at Edgar High School, as the Stratford Tigers and Edgar Wildcats close out yet another big meeting. Well, let's see, this was the 61st meeting. Going back to the mid-1960s between these two teams. And they had 60 meetings in the books coming into tonight's game. And Edgar had the edge, 33-27 in the series coming into tonight. And in the 61st meeting between these two schools, Edgar wins it 10-0 over the Stratford Tigers to claim the Merriwood Conference title with the win here tonight. Don't know if we're going to get Edgar coach Jerry Sins to stop by or not. We did extend the invitation in the pregame, and so we'll see if he gets a chance to stop up. I'm sure he's got many well-wishers and, you know, hangers-on, glad-handers, right?
There's a lot of people on the field right now.
For both teams.
That are wanting to talk to Coach Sins, I'm sure, about another championship in the books.
Yeah, with the, you know, Sins, Jerry and his big entourage, you know. So, but the Edgar Wildcats win it 10-0 over Stratford here tonight. Glad you're with us on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, Spencer Marshfield, and online at WOSQFM.com. Ben Brecht is producing and studio engineering our broadcast tonight with Todd Schultz. I'm Mike Warren. Another classic battle between Stratford and Edgar, and the Wildcats get a shutout win, 10-0. Let's take a look. Oh, by the way, our post-game report. Welcome back to our post-game report, which is sponsored by Rob's Redwood in Unity. Rob's Redwood is open daily lunch with specials and soup daily as well. Try their great pizzas, eat in, take out, or take and bake. Stop in for the Wisconsin and Green Bay games on the big screens as well. They have game day specials. All kinds of great things happening at Rob's Redwood on Highway 13 in Unity. That sounds really good, actually. Well, everything is good there, but I mean, you know, normally we talk about the Friday fish fry and some other things, and the baby back pork ribs, you know, with the salad bar, and I thought, now I got some new stuff to talk about here. Daily lunch specials. I didn't know they had the homemade soup either. I knew they had the pizza. They got the, again, the Badger and Packer games are on the TVs there. It's kind of like a sports bar atmosphere. Great place. So stop in at Rob's Redwood on Highway 13 in Unity. Proud sponsors of our post-game show here tonight, each and every Friday night on WOSQ. And our post-game are brought to you by Egg Country Farm Credit Service.